Welcome, friends, to the Beaver Dam. It is true, the mutton chops are gone. They have been mutton chopped. Sorry to say, but it is good to be here in the Beaver Dam with you. We are talking about this beautiful guy, campaign farmers, specifically Kale's the one I suggest as your first starting champion. And you know, if you aren't sure why about that, go watch more, my video about your first day in Raid Shadow Legends. And you know, while you're there, drop a subscribe. It helps out the channel, helps me get out there, so that way more people can benefit from the help you're going to get from this video and future videos. And if you're getting started and you need a good fresh start, go ahead and drop down to that description and click on that link, or click this QR code above. You're going to get the beautiful Rector Drath. She's amazing. She's actually going to help a lot with this whole campaign farmer idea, and I'm excited to kind of go into it, and I'll explain why she's helpful with this whole campaign farmer idea in just a moment. But the whole concept of a campaign farmer is that you get 4 champions at the beginning of the game. They're rare. That is important. That is good. We'll talk about it in just a moment. Kale's the best one of the 4, and you know, it's going to be super helpful going through basically anything in the game. He's super nice even into the end game. But you're going to want to push hard in getting just this specific guy up and running. And the reason being is because as you're going through the campaign, you can get these stars, and these stars will give you tons of different good stuff, including at the very end a sacred shard, which is super nice. And to get these 3 stars, you have to use only 2 champions per level, not the full 4, because you know you got 4 slots here. You have to use only 2 champions, and then have no one dying. And so having a campaign farmers is very important because it allows you to get through these and maximize your stars, so you don't have to go back and redo things and re-get your stars. You can just do it on your first try and call it a day, because your main goal when you first start is to get through brutal campaign, and you're trying to get to this area, because not only does it allow you to farm some, you know, artifacts and stuff, specifically you get to stage 3 of this one. This shield is worth a ton of silver, and so you just farm this for silver essentially, as well as it allows you to level up champions, because you have your 2 campaign farmers, you know that they can beat this, and so then you can throw whoever else you want in the 3rd and 4th slot and be able to level up champions organically as you farm up stuff for silver. And the reason that I have Sun Wukong in here, I do highly suggest Sun Wukong being your 2nd major champion. That or Rector Drath. Now, at the beginning, when you first start, you can put in a new player promo code if you want to get Sun Wukong. It's Monkey King. I do believe he is the best starter promo code of all of them. So you can, you know, click on that link like we talked about down below to get started, and then get Sun Wukong. That does not count as your starter promo code. So make sure you go and type in Monkey King into the promo area right over here. It's promo codes, and be able to get yourself a Sun Wukong. Now, these 2 are insane together. Kale is just great, and he's going to be your primary focus. I mentioned before, rares are important. The reason being is because if we go over to the tavern and we look at upgrading skills, when it comes to a rare champion, it takes rare skill books. And rare skill books are going to be much easier to acquire in the early game. You go and we look at my my Sun Wukong here, and you can see that my upgrades aren't maxed out at all, even though I've been playing for a couple weeks now. It's because it's much harder to come by for legendary materials. It's the same thing for ascending for new stars. It costs a whole heck of a lot more to ascend a legendary character over a rare character. And so focusing down that Kale first, or whoever your starting champion was that you chose of the 4, is vital. And then Sun Wukong as a 2nd is super nice, especially because once you ascend him to 3 stars, and if you ascend any character to 3 stars, they get a special ability. Here we can go over to Death Knight, and I'll show you. Champion cannot ascend. Can you not ascend common champions? Interesting. Anyways, we go over to her, for instance, and you get to the 3rd level, you know, 3 stars of ascension, and you gain a new skill. Every champion has this, and it's going to allow you to be able to get bonus perks for your characters. For Sun Wukong, his if he dies and 3 turns pass after he dies, he just revives himself. And so you're sitting there and you're like, Kale's your beefy tank. You put all the ascension into him. You got him up to 6-star. You got him up to level 60. He's going to have so much into him. He's going to be really survivable. Sun Wukong dies off and it's like, oh no, 3 turns go by, he's back. You still get that 3 stars. So Sun Wukong's really, really nice for that type of thing. Another option is Rector Drat, something with survivability, something with a revive, so that way you can have her bring back Kale and you can still get those 3 stars on those particularly rough levels overall. Hey, I know what this guy is saying is very important. I get it, I understand, but really quick, if you're looking to start a new raid account, go check out the link down below for this QR code. It's going to help you out so much getting started. The best way to start in Raid Shadow Legends is with a content creator's code, and you've got the shining holy grail right there down below. You get Rector Drat, you get all kinds of cool stuff. Go check it out. So your campaign farmers are very vital in the early game for leveling up, for farming silver, for getting through things. As for mods, we talk a lot in the early game about modding being something that's secondary. You focus on the stats rather than like the overall set. You're not trying to go for specific set bonus very hard early on. I do want to put addendum to that. I think a lot of people skip around this and don't consider this, and it's something that helped me a lot in the early game, is a lifesteal set. Your campaign farmer is going to hit like a freight train, and so because you're putting all that ascension in, you're putting all the ranks in, you're pushing everything you can into this character, and you can throw all of your skill books into them because it's a rare champion, so you'll have tons of skill books for them, so their abilities are going to slap. The lifesteal set gives them so much survivability. So I do think this is actually one of those few times. You can see here that I had a lifesteal set that I was working on. This level 16 is definitely not worth it. This was definitely a bad level 16. But I was having so much help just from having the health steal set on my campaign farmer to start that I didn't mind taking it to 16, especially because I had a mission at the time to take something to 16. And I was like, this is a character I'm using. Do I regret it now? A little bit. But overall, having something in the lifesteal set can be vitally important and very, very helpful for your campaign farmers. To you, I can't explain to you. I cannot stress it enough. This is vital. Not only just like the extra crit rate and attack kind of stuff, going through, but also accuracy, especially for if you got Kale and you're using that poison, can be super helpful for things that are on that level of fighting a clan boss and that type of stuff. But there's one in here. Here we go. Has a 5% chance of decreasing the cooldown of a random skill by 1 turn at the start of every turn. Very, very helpful. Increased speed for each dead ally. Stacks up to 24. Also helpful. You can push out those wins. There are so many things in here that are just like increasing damage, increasing survivability, increasing just the viability of your character. And so spending your gems on this after you've maxed out your mine is going to be super nice in making sure that your campaign farmers are taken as far as you can. Really quick side note as well, do keep in mind they are rare. Kale is a rare, so when you're upgrading skills, please do not use the epic and legendary tomes. You're using only rare tomes. You will get plenty. Even if you have none at the moment, wait. Save up those epic tomes. Please do not spend them. Save up those legendary tomes. Please do not spend them on Kale. It will let you spend them. You don't want to spend them, though. It is not worth your time. But yeah, that's it. I'm kind of curious what you guys are using as your campaign farmers overall. I've been seeing a lot of people pushing Alice pretty hard recently in their starting teams for a lot of game modes. She has great turn meter control and that type of thing. Obviously, if you're watching this 6 months from now, a year from now, 10 years from now, it's probably a very different game, and Alice is not the current character that you can get for logging in for free, that type of stuff. So Kale, Sun Wukong at the current moment, they're the best option for starting out and probably will remain to be. But I'm curious what your guys campaign farmers are. Are you using that wonderful Rector Draft? One last time, just make sure that if you are starting out a new account, or you want to start, you know, a second account, a fourth account, a 17th account, who knows, maybe you have that much time on your hands, go check out that link down below, or this wonderful QR code. It'll get you started right and get you that Rector Draft, that Ugo, just beautiful things. You know, she's so gorgeous. Just look at her. But anyways, I'd love to hear what your guys' campaign farmers are. They're like, it's so important. And maybe like you started out with Sun Wukong and Kale as your 2 campaign farmers, but then you got a lucky pull during like a double drop event and you switched to someone else. I'm kind of curious who you ended up with in that early game. So let me know. But these campaign farmers are not just going to set you up for your campaign. They're also going to set you up for other game modes such as clan bosses, arena. They'll literally set you up for success. So do not sleep on your campaign farmer. Thank you guys so much for watching, and thank you for giving a damn.